Have you ever wondered what it takes to excel in the TOEFL writing section? Are you looking to unlock the secrets to impressive and effective writing that can open doors to your academic and professional future? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Understanding the TOEFL Writing section, where we unravel the mysteries of this crucial part of the TOEFL test. Whether you're a first-time test taker or looking to improve your score, this video is your first step towards success. The TOEFL writing section is more than just writing an essay. It's a showcase of your ability to communicate effectively in English, an essential skill for academic and professional success. Today, we'll dive deep into what this section contains, its format, what examiners look for, and some proven strategies to enhance your writing skills. First, let's get an overview. The TOEFL writing section is the last part of the TOEFL test and consists of two tasks: the integrated writing task and the independent writing task, the academic discussion. You will have a total of 40 minutes to complete both. The key here is not just to test your writing ability, but also to assess your ability to communicate ideas effectively. In the integrated writing task, you will read a passage for 3 minutes, listen to a short lecture, and then write a response that combines information from both the reading and listening materials. This task measures your ability to synthesize and convey information accurately. It's not just about what you say, but how you connect ideas from different resources. Next, the academic discussion task. Here, you'll express your own ideas on a specific topic. This is your chance to showcase your ability to construct a well-organized, clear, and detailed discussion. It's about presenting your argument or opinion coherently and persuasively. Now, let's talk about the strategy. Excelling in the TOEFL writing section is about practice, well-structured, using various vocabulary, using transitions for coherence, typing quickly, and developing a strategy for time management. All these points are important. We will explain them for you one by one. Just keep watching and you will be the best. Remember, the TOEFL writing section is your opportunity to demonstrate your English proficiency in a real-world academic setting. With the right preparation, you can turn this challenge into a stepping stone for your future endeavors. Keep practicing, stay focused, and you will be on your way to achieving a great score. Thank you for watching. See you in the next session, where we'll delve deeper into effective essay writing strategies for the TOEFL test. Welcome back to our TOEFL preparation series. Today's session is all about understanding and overcoming the common challenges you might face in the TOEFL writing section. If you are feeling daunted by the prospect of writing essays under time pressure or finding it hard to organize your thoughts effectively, you're not alone. Let's identify these challenges and look at ways to tackle them head-on. The TOEFL writing section can indeed be challenging, but knowing what these challenges are is the first step towards mastering them. We are going to discuss several key issues that many students encounter and provide practical solutions to help you improve. One of the biggest challenges is time management. Writing 2 essays in 30 minutes can seem daunting. It's essential to practice writing within these time constraints. We'll go over some effective time management strategies that will help you allocate your time wisely between reading, planning, writing, and reviewing your essays. Another common issue is not fully understanding the task, especially with the integrated writing task. It's not just about summarizing the given texts, but getting information from both the reading passage and the listening piece. We'll explore techniques to ensure you're responding to the task accurately. Developing and organizing ideas is another issue. Sometimes you might struggle to come up with ideas or find it hard to structure them coherently. We'll look at brainstorming techniques and essay structures that can make your writing more coherent and logically organized. Many of you also face challenges with language use and grammar. English is not your first language, I know, and that's okay. We'll cover some common grammatical pitfalls to avoid and discuss ways to enhance your writing style, making it more clear and effective. Also, we will share the most popular idioms that you will use in your answer. Moving on to a more technical yet crucial skill, improving your typing speed. In the digital era, typing quickly and accurately is essential, not only for TOEFL, but also for your academic and working life. You don't want great ideas getting lost due to slow typing. You will waste your time only. We'll discuss exercises and daily practices to gradually increase your typing speed, ensuring that when you're taking the test, your fingers can keep up with your thoughts. Lastly, let's address a common pitfall: spelling mistakes. And that's the worst. Even native speakers can trip over spelling. In the TOEFL exam, consistent spelling errors can affect your score very hard. That will, waste your score really. Actually, it's the most dangerous mistake on TOEFL writing. I'll introduce you to some tools and techniques that can help you improve your spelling in your practice sessions. Remember, every challenge in TOEFL writing is an opportunity to learn and grow. With practice and the right strategies, you can turn these problems into stepping stones for success. Stay tuned for more tips and don't forget to practice consistently. You've got this. Thank you for watching. Be sure to stay with us for more insights and strategies to ace the TOEFL writing section. See you in the next lesson. Welcome there. This session is all about mastering transition words and coherence, essential elements for developing your speaking and writing skills. Transition words are like bridges in your speech. They connect your ideas smoothly, guiding the examiner through your thoughts. We'll explore different types of transitions and when to use them. Let's look at examples. Furthermore, for adding information. However, for contrasting ideas, and therefore for showing cause and effect. These words help structure your response logically. Coherence is about making your response easy to follow. It's not just about what you say, no, but how your ideas connect. We'll discuss strategies to maintain coherence in your responses. Here are the most popular transitions in English and some of their synonyms. Also, plus. Use it to add more information or ideas. Similar transitions include furthermore and moreover. But indicates a contrast or exception. Similar words are however and on the other hand. For example, introduces an example or illustration. Alternatives include for instance and to illustrate. In contrast, highlights a difference or opposition. Similar transitions are conversely and on the contrary. In the same way, shows similarity. Other options are likewise and similarly. Because indicates a cause or reason. Alternatives are as and since, because of, used to express casuality. Similar phrases are due to and owing to. So, shows a result or effect. Other transitions like therefore and consequently have similar uses. Each of these transitions has a unique role in structuring coherent and logical responses, especially in a testing context. Incorporating transition words correctly will make your speaking responses more coherent and logical organized, an essential skill for English success. Thank you for joining me. Embrace these strategies in your practice and you will significantly improve your speaking. Good luck. Welcome to an exciting new chapter in our TOEFL preparation series. Today, we are focusing on two essential skills for the reading and listening sections. Identifying keywords through skimming and scanning, and mastering the art of note-taking. These strategies are not just test-taking techniques. They are skills that will enhance your overall comprehension and efficiency. Let's dive in. Understanding and retaining information is crucial in the TOEFL reading and listening sections. Let's explore effective methods to help you excel. First, let's talk about keywords through skimming and scanning. These are two techniques that save your time and boost your understanding. Skimming is quickly reading through a text to get the general idea. It's like flying over a landscape to see the big picture. Scanning, on the other hand, is more like searching for a specific landmark. You scan the text to find specific information like dates, names, or key concepts. For example, in a reading passage about the history of the internet, you might skim to understand the overall development timeline. Then you scan for specific dates or names of key figures involved in its development. Practicing these techniques will help you navigate through large chunks of text efficiently, identifying essential information quickly. In TOEFL writing task 1, you will read a passage about a specific topic. You could say an essay. It has a title, introduction, 3 points, and a conclusion. You will have 3 minutes to read. You need skimming to get the main idea at this place. Plus, you should use scanning to take some notes. How to take notes? That's what comes next. Next is note-taking. This skill is invaluable, especially in task 1. Effective note-taking involves jotting down key points, not writing every word. Focus on main ideas, important details, and connections between points. I mean the 3 main points and their example. Develop a system of abbreviation or symbols to save time. Let's say you're listening to a lecture about climate change. Your notes should capture the main causes, significant effects, and possible solutions mentioned, using shorthand for speed. For instance, take these notes. As you can see, they could quickly summarize the rise in carbon dioxide and temperature. Remember, notes are for your understanding, so develop a method that works best for you. I can't help you with this. Combining skimming and scanning with note-taking is a powerful approach. You should draw this schedule before starting the test to help you in note-taking. Write the main topic and 3 points in both passages, reading and listening. In the reading passage, skim for the general theme, then scan for points. In the listening section, use note-taking to capture key details you've identified through attentive listening. This combination is a strategic way to ensure you're covering all necessary information efficiently. Mastering these strategies of keywords through skimming and scanning and effective note-taking will significantly boost your performance in the TOEFL reading, listening, speaking, and writing sections. Practice them regularly as part of your TOEFL preparation and see the improvement in your comprehension and speed. Thank you for joining me this session on essential reading and listening strategies. Stay tuned for more tips and techniques to ace your TOEFL test. Happy studying! Today, in organizing your response for the integrated writing task, we are going to explore how to effectively structure your essay. This skill is crucial to present your ideas clearly and coherently, reflecting a deep understanding of both the reading and listening materials. Let's start shaping your responses into well-organized, compelling essays. Organizing your essay is about more than just writing. It's about presenting your ideas in a logical, easy-to-follow manner. Let's break down the structure of a successful integrated writing task response. First, it's essential to understand the structure of the integrated writing task. This task requires you to summarize and compare points from reading passage and a listening lecture. Your essay should not only present these points, but also show how they relate to each other, highlighting contrasts or agreements. Here is a tip here. Write more about the listening lecture. Write more about the listening lecture. You should include the listening lecture than the reading article. That means you need to master note-taking very well, because your writing depends on it. Also, the reading article will be in front of you, so don't copy-paste from it. You need to take the main idea from it only, then write it on your way. Let's go back to our subject. What's the structure? Begin with an introduction. In a few sentences, introduce the main topic of the reading passage and mention that the lecture either supports or stands against it. Then present your thesis statement, summarizing the primary relationship between the reading and listening materials. This sets the stage for your reader. The body of your essay is where you detail your analysis. Organize it into paragraphs, each focusing on a specific point of comparison or contrast. Start each paragraph with a clear topic sentence. Then include details from both the reading and the lecture. Ensure you explain how these details relate to each other. It's not about just listing points. It's about connecting and contrasting them effectively. Use transition words to guide your reader through your arguments. Phrases like "on the other hand," "similarly," or "in contrast" help clarify the relationships between your points. This makes your essay more coherent and easier to follow. Conclude your essay by summarizing the main points of comparison or contrast. Reinforce how these points support your thesis. The conclusion should bring closure to your essay without introducing new information. Be careful. Finally, take the time to review and refine your essay. Check for clarity, coherence, spelling, grammar, and organization. Ensure that each paragraph flows logically into the next and your essay as a whole supports your thesis statement effectively. Remember, a well-organized response is key to scoring high in the integrated writing task. Practice this structure, refine your approach, and soon you will be crafting responses that clearly and effectively communicate your understanding of complex materials. Thanks for joining me in this lesson on organizing your integrated writing task response. Don't forget to set up your alert for more insights and strategies for TOEFL success. Up next, we'll tackle strategies for mastering the independent writing task. So, stay tuned. Directions. For this task, you will read a passage and listen to a lecture about an academic topic. You have 20 minutes to plan and write your response. Your response will be judged on the basis of the quality of your writing and on how well your response presents the points in the lecture and their relationship to the reading passage. Typically, an effective response will be 150 to 225 words. You have 30 minutes to read.
Now listen to part of a lecture on the topic you just read about.
It is often said that people are reading less literature today than they used to. What should we make of this? Well, first, a book doesn't have to be literature to be intellectually stimulating. Science writing, History, political analysis, and so forth aren't literature, perhaps, but they're often of high quality, and these kinds of books can be just as creative and well-written as a novel or a play. They can stimulate the imagination. So don't assume that someone who isn't reading literature isn't reading a good book. But let's say that people aren't just spending less time with literature, they're also spending less time with books in general. Does that mean that the culture is in decline? No, there's plenty of culturally valuable material that isn't written. Music and movies, for example. Are people wasting their time when they listen to a brilliant song or watch a good movie? Do these non-literary activities lower cultural standards? Of course not. Culture has changed. In today's culture, there are many forms of expression available other than novels and poems, and some of these creative forms speak more directly to contemporary concerns than literature does. Finally, it's probably true that there's less support for literature today than in earlier generations, but don't be too quick to blame the readers. Sometimes it's the author's fault. Let's be honest. A lot of modern literature is intended to be difficult to understand. There's not much reason to suppose that earlier generations of readers would have read a lot of today's literature either.
Summarize the points made in the lecture, being sure to explain how they cast doubt on specific points made in the reading passage.
Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. In this video, I'm gonna explain the first question of the TOEFL writing test. Task 1, the integrated task. The first question is about a reading and a listening passages. So you will read a passage for 3 minutes, then you will listen 2 or 3 minutes. Then you should summarize those 2 passages and mention the relationship between them. That's the main form of this task. You will see a photo. The question is always the same. Summarize the points made in the lecture, being sure to explain how they cast doubt on specific points made in the reading passage. And you can see the passage in your left hand. Okay? So here is the template. It's really simple. It's not that hard, it's adjustable. It's not that perfect. I'm telling you, it's not that perfect 100%. So you could change a word or 2 words or anything that you don't like. You could adjust it like yourself. Be yourself. The reading and the lecture both deal with, and you will mention the topic. While the writer of the reading thinks that, you will mention the writer's opinion. For specific reasons, the speaker of the lecture agrees, disagrees. It's 10% agrees, but it's 90% disagrees. It's usually disagrees. Disagrees with the author's claims and he is against. If it's disagrees, he is against. If agrees, in favor of them. However, in his opinion, blank, for 3 reasons. First of all, the writer claims that, and you will mention the first point. In contrast, the lecturer argues that. Second of all, the author mentions that. Conversely, the speaker maintains that. Lastly, the writer asserts that. Nonetheless, the lecturer remarks that. So as you can see, the title at the first, then the opinion of the author of the reading and the speaker of the lecture. You should write the opinion. Then the controlling sentence. It's not necessary, but it makes it good. As we mentioned in the previous videos, it's an academic essay, so you should write it, actually. Then you should write the 3 points that they have mentioned at the reading and the listening passages. Okay? Then you have this schedule. You should write this schedule before even starting the TOEFL test. You should write the template, you should write the schedule before even starts the test. You should write it down in the papers that they are giving to you. For the reading, for the listening, for the speaking, for the writing. So you should write all the templates before even starting the test. As you can see here, the reading and the listening, you should write the topic and 3 points. Okay, let's take a test and solve it together using this template. Okay, are you ready? Let's get started. Directions. For this task, you will read a passage and listen to a lecture about an academic topic. You have 20 minutes to plan and write your response. Your response will be judged on the basis of the quality of your writing and on how well your response presents the points in the lecture and their relationship to the reading passage. Typically, an effective response will be 150 to 225 words. You have 30 minutes to read. Okay, we will start reading and collect the points and the topic. Okay, let's start reading. A recent study reveals that people, especially young people, are reading far less literature. Okay, people are reading less literature. Novels, plays, and poems. That's literature, so, okay. Than they used to. People used to read literature, but now they are reading less literature. Okay, this is troubling because the trend has unfortunate effects for the reading public. Okay, it affects for culture in general, okay, culture, and for the future of literature itself. Okay, so the writer here speaks about the negative and the bad things that people are reading less literature. Okay, let's take this as the topic. 3 bad effects of people reading less literature than they used to. Okay, that's the topic. Let's see what's next. While there has been a decline in book reading generally, the decline has been especially sharp for literature. This is unfortunate because nothing else provides the intellectual stimulation that literature does. So the intellectual stimulation that literature does, nothing else provides it. Okay. Literature encourages us to exercise our imaginations. Exercise imaginations. That's a good point. Empathize with others and expand our understanding of language. So by reading less literature, the reading public is missing out on important benefits. So he says that the passage argues that reading less literature means that readers are missing out on ways to stimulate their imagination and help with their mental development. Okay, but that's not as we talk in note taking, so we could change this into this. Okay, now we are talking. Less reading equals less imagination and less mental development. Okay, that seems good. Okay, that's the other side of this passage. Unfortunately, missing out on the benefits of literature is not the only problem. Okay, what are people reading instead? What? Consider the prevalence of self-help books on lists of bestsellers. Okay, these are usually superficial, poorly written, and intellectual and demanding. Additionally, instead of sitting down with a challenging novel, many persons are now more likely to turn on the television. Of course, we love television. Watch a music video or read a web page. Clearly, diverting time previously spent in reading literature to trivial forms of entertainment, okay, entertainment, has lowered the level of culture in general. Okay, he says this. The passage argues that many of the kinds of reading that people currently spend time on instead of literature are just trivial entertainment and lead to lower cultural standards. We could write notes like this. Nowadays, reading just entertainment and it leads to lower cultural standards. Okay, let's take the third point. The trend of reading less literature is all the more regrettable because it's taking place during a period when good literature is being written. Okay, there are many talented writers today, but they lack an audience. The fact is bound to lead publishers to invest less in literature and so support. Okay, they don't support. That means they don't support. So support fewer serious writers. Okay, they don't support writers. Thus, the writing as well as the reading of literature is likely to decline because of the poor standards of today's readers. So he's saying that the readers are poor, so the writers, they don't pay so much for writers, they don't support them, especially for talented writers. Talented writers of literature are not being supported. That's what he says. Okay, now let's listen to part of the lecture on the same topic that we have just read about.
Now listen to part of a lecture on the topic you just read about.
It is often said that people are reading less literature today than they used to. What should we make of this? Well, first, a book doesn't have to be literature to be intellectually stimulating. Science writing, history, political analysis, and so forth aren't literature, perhaps, but they're often of high quality, and these kinds of books can be just as creative and well-written as a novel or a play. They can stimulate the imagination. So don't assume that someone who isn't reading literature isn't reading a good book. But let's say that people aren't just spending less time with literature, they're also spending less time with books in general. Does that mean that the culture is in decline? No, there's plenty of culturally valuable material that isn't written. Music and movies, for example. Are people wasting their time when they listen to a brilliant song or watch a good movie? Do these non-literary activities lower cultural standards? Of course not. Culture has changed. In today's culture, there are many forms of expression available other than novels and poems, and some of these creative forms speak more directly to contemporary concerns than literature does. Finally, it's probably true that there's less support for literature today than in earlier generations, but don't be too quick to blame the readers. Sometimes it's the author's fault. Let's be honest. A lot of modern literature is intended to be difficult to understand. There's not much reason to suppose that earlier generations of readers would have read a lot of today's literature either.
Okay, these are the points that the lecturer mentioned. How about time management? Time management for task 1 is as following. You should spend 3 minutes to organize your response. As we have done now in the schedule, you should spend the first 3 minutes to organize your response in this schedule. Then from the fourth minute to the 6th minute, you should write your template, the same template that we have mentioned. As we told you, you should spend 3 minutes. You should try and practice more and more to write it in 3 minutes or less than 3 minutes. Okay? Then you have 10 minutes to write your essay. About 10 minutes, it will be enough, 10 or 11 minutes to write your essay. Then at the last 2 minutes or 3 minutes, you should review your all essay. It's so important to review the whole essay. Okay, now as you see, this is our schedule. This is the practice test that you have just finished at the previous video. I put it in this format to make the whole passage visible to you. But actually, it will be like this. The photo will be at the left side and the passage will be under the photo, and the question will be the same, summarize the points. Now we are taking the test. We are starting in 3, 2, 1, and let's start.
Summarize the points made in the lecture, being sure to explain how they cast doubt on specific points made in the reading passage.
At the beginning, you will spend the first 3 minutes in organizing your response, and organize it like this in this schedule, and we have already done it. Okay, after that you will start writing your template, the full template. You should write it, and it will take about 3 minutes, as we talked about. As you can see, the template is here. What's next? Next is the title of our template. The reading and the lecture both deal with what? We'll take it from the reading and the listening. So they are talking about the bad effects of people reading less literature than they used to. Okay, we'll write it. The reading and the lecture both deal with the effects of people reading less literature than they used to. Whilst the writer of the reading thinks that, and you will type, the thoughts of the author, we'll write, reading less literature has 3 negative impacts. Okay, it feels good. The speaker of the lecture agrees or disagrees with the author's claims and he's against them. We'll write it. Okay. However, in his opinion, blank for 3 reasons. I think no need for this in this passage. If you want to write it, you could write it, but I think there's no need because we have a lot of words to write. Okay, we deleted it. First of all, the writer claims that, okay, let's take the first point. Okay, as we can see in the schedule, less reading equals less imagination, less mental development. Okay, we could write claims that people who read less literature have less imagination, and that leads to poor mental development. Okay, in contrast, the lecturer argues that, okay, we said there are other forms of writing that are of high quality and just as intellectually stimulating as literature. We could write it as the same. The lecturer argues that there are other forms of writing that are of high quality and just as intellectually stimulating as literature. We could, add something like such as history and science writings. If you listened a lot and take more notes, it will be the best, because if you depend only in the reading passage, it will not be good for you, because the passage is in your eyes, in front of you. But if you wrote more about the listening passage, it will be the best and you will get more scores. Okay? Okay. Second of all, the author mentions that, as you can see, nowadays reading just entertainment lead to lower cultural standards. We could say that nowadays reading is only for entertainment and leads to lower cultural standards. Conversely, the speaker maintains that listening to good music or watching good movies, the definition of culture is changing. Okay, we could write, the speaker maintains that listening to good music or watching good movies is also culture. Okay, the definition of culture is changing. Actually, I agree with the speaker, but don't write your opinion. They are not asking about your opinion. Just summarize and put the relationship between the reading passage and the writing passage. No need for your opinion. Keep it in your mind. Okay. Actually, some people say that, you should write your opinion. I disagree with them, actually, because they asked you to summarize only, not to insert your opinion. So no need. But if you add your opinion, if you had time, it will not damage you. Okay. Lastly, the writer asserts that talented writers of literature are not being supported. Okay. Nonetheless, the lecturer remarks that the writers of literature nowadays are making their books works too hard to understand. Okay, now we have finished writing. The words here are about 200. Actually, these words are about 200. So it's good. If you added more, I recommend you not to add more than 225, because the more you write, the more mistakes you will make. So no need to add more than 225, because they asked you for between 150 and 225, so no need. As you can see, I left 3 minutes to review. That's so important. As I told you, that's so important. You have to leave at least 3 minutes to review for grammar mistakes, for spelling mistakes, punctuation, anything. Even if you didn't write the last, for example, the last point, the third point, and you only have 3 minutes, leave the last point and review your essay. Okay? Okay, deal. Thank you for watching this video. I'm sorry that I made it very long, but I wanted to share this with you. If you have any questions or you want to adjust the template, you can. But as I told you, I searched a lot. I entered a lot of courses. I read a lot of books, and that's what I found. That's the best template that you can write. If you don't want to write in a template, if you have your own ideas, that's not a problem. You could write whatever you want. But as you can see here, I used a lot of transitions, first of all, second of all, lastly, conversely, and however, and all these, they will increase your score. Transitions are very good for your essay. Okay, that's it. Thank you. If you want anything, just ask me. Don't forget to join our websites and our Telegram group and subscribe and everything. I'm not gonna tell you everything. I love you guys. Thank you so much. See you in other videos. How to answer academic discussion. Here, we will answer this question step by step. Welcome back to our series on mastering the TOEFL writing section. Today, we are focusing on the academic discussion task. I'll guide you through a step-by-step approach to effectively answer this task. Remember, practice and strategy are your keys to success. Let's start. In this task, you will contribute to an online academic discussion. It's crucial to understand how to approach this effectively within the time limit. Let's break down the steps. Step 1 is to identify the class subject. It's usually mentioned at the top of the task. Knowing the subject helps you frame your thoughts within the right context, whether it's sociology, political science, or economics. Step 2 involves reading the professor's writing. Pay attention to the background information or any specific details provided by the professor, as this sets the stage for the question and your response. Next, in step 3, focus on the question posed by the professor. This is the core of your task. Understand the question well, as your boss should directly address this question. Moving to step number 4. There is no need to read the students' opinions. While these can provide insights, they are not essential for your response. Your primary focus should be on adding your unique perspective to the discussion. They will only waste your time, and if you check the official TOEFL website and check the perfect answer for this task, you will find that they didn't add any information from the students' bosses. So, take this tip from me and don't waste your time. Step number 5. Writing your bust. Aim for 120 to 150 words. This is where you articulate your viewpoint, using transitions for coherence, ensuring it's insightful and adds value to the discussion. Spend around 7 minutes on this to develop a thoughtful and well-structured post. Finally, step number 6. Leave 1 minute for reviewing. This is so important. Use this time to check for any grammatical errors, spelling mistakes, clarity in your argument, and ensure that your boss directly answers the question. By following these steps, you will be well prepared to tackle the academic discussion task in the TOEFL exam. Remember, the key is to add to the discussion with clear, conscious, and relevant points. Practice this structure and you will find your confidence and skills growing. Thank you for joining this session. Keep practicing and don't forget to check out our other lessons for more strategies and tips. Good luck with your TOEFL preparation and I'll see you in the next lesson. Hello there! Today we are honoring a crucial skill in advanced writing skills, learning to type without looking at the keyboard. This ability, known as touch typing, is a game changer for efficiency, especially in time-sensitive tests like the TOEFL and IELTS tests. Let's get started on mastering this vital skill. Touch typing is all about memory and familiarity with the keyboard. It enables you to focus on your thoughts and ideas instead of finding keys, making your writing process faster and smoother. Touch typing means typing confidently without needing to look at the keys. It involves using memory to know where each key is. This skill is essential for efficiently completing the TOEFL writing section. Begin with the basics: finger placement and home keys. The home keys are where your fingers naturally rest. A, S, D, F for your left hand, and J, K, L, and semicolon for your right hand. This is your starting point for every typing journey. Now, for practice, I highly recommend using typingclub.com. It's a fantastic resource for learning and improving your touch typing skills. It offers a structured approach with lessons that gradually build up your typing abilities. Another effective method is to write what you memorize. Take a piece of text, maybe a passage from a book or an article, or any songs that you remind, or anything that in your mind, search for it and memorize it, and then type it out. This exercise helps reinforce the key positions of the keyboard in your mind. Translating can also be a great way to practice. Take a sentence in your native language and translate it into English as you type. This not only improves your typing skills but also aids your language proficiency. Finally, practice typing while listening. Listen to a speech or a podcast and try to type what you hear in real time. And you may, make the speed 0.5 or something like this, and it will be the best for you. This challenges you to keep up with the pace of spoken language, greatly improving your typing speed and accuracy. Mastering touch typing is a journey. With tools like Typing Club and methods like writing from memory, translating, and typing while listening, you will enhance not just your typing speed, but also your overall writing effectiveness. Remember, the key to success in the TOEFL writing section is not just what you write, but how efficiently you can write it. And you have a limited time, as you know. Thanks for joining today's lesson on advanced writing skills. Keep practicing and be sure to explore our other lessons for more TOEFL strategies and tips. See you in the next lesson. Welcome to our fascinating dive into the world of idiomatic expressions. Idioms are phrases where the words together having a meaning that's different from the dictionary definitions of the individual words. They add color and cultural richness to language. Let's explore some common English idioms and their meanings. Idioms are a key part of conversational English. They can be puzzling to non-native speakers because their meanings are often metaphorical. Understanding them is crucial for fluency and cultural literacy. We'll go through popular idioms, their meanings, and how to use them in context. For example, piece of cake, which means something is very easy. Or, break the ice, used to describe actions that reduce tension in a social situation. Now that we've learned about idioms and their importance in English, let's put our knowledge to the test with some interactive exercises. I'll present everyday situations and you'll guess which idiom best fits. Are you ready? Let's start. Imagine you've just finished a project effortlessly. Which idiom would you use? Is it a piece of cake or out of the blue? You are at a party where no one is talking. Someone starts funny conversation to lighten the mood. What idiom fits here? Perhaps missing the boat or breaking the ice. In a meeting, you decide to ignore the small talk and get to the important topic. Which idiom describes this? Beating around the bush or cutting to the chase? A friend argued strongly for 1 point, but later agreed with you. Which idiom describes this change? Changing tune or holding your horses? You're avoiding discussing the main problem in a conversation. What's the idiom for this? Is it beating around the bush or hitting the nail on the head? Everything seems to be going wrong at the same time. Which idiom captures this feeling? Could it be when it rains it pours or once in a blue moon? You decide to deal with a difficult issue directly. What's the best idiom here? Taking the bull by the horns or letting sleeping dogs lie? Your friend tells you a secret and you promise to keep it. Which idiom applies? Spilling the beans or keeping it under wraps? Someone starts something prematurely. What's the idiom for this? Breaking up the wrong tree or jumping the gun? You mean someone who's extremely curious about everything. Which idiom describes this? A cat has 9 lives or curiosity killed the cat? Great job! With those guesses, using idioms correctly can really bring your English to life. Remember, idioms are a window into the culture of a language. So, embracing them in your speech is both fun and enlightening. Keep practicing these expressions and soon you will be using them like a native speaker. If you are good in idioms and can suitably use them, then use them in the TOEFL. They will boost your score by 4 or 5 marks. Sounds great, right? Yeah, I know. But here's a warning. If you are not sure about the idiom, do not use it. Don't use it. Because if you use it in the wrong way, you will just waste your score. So, be careful. Be careful. Embracing idioms will not only enhance your language skills, but also give you insight into the cultural aspects of English language. Keep practicing and soon you'll be using them like a native speaker. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of idiomatic expressions. Dive into the world and watch your language skills flourish. Happy studying! Pay attention. These are the top essential tips for TOEFL writing. You should relax. And let's get started. Welcome, guys. Today we'll delve into 7 important tips that can elevate your writing skills and help you secure a higher score on both the integrated and academic discussion tasks. Let's enhance your writing with these strategic insights. Let's dive in. Tip number 1. Plan before you write. Spend the first few minutes to brainstorming and outlining your essay. This plan should include your main thesis, supporting details, and examples. For task 1, you should connect the dots between the reading passage and the listening lecture. On the other hand, in the academic discussion, you need the main idea and 2 points with their example. Tip number 2, start with a hook. Begin your essay with an interesting statement, question, or fact that grabs the reader's attention. A compelling hook sets the tone of your essay and can make a strong first impression on the evaluator. Tip number 3, use varied vocabulary. Showcase your language skills by using a diverse range of vocabulary. Avoid repetition by employing synonyms and expressions that reflect a high level of English proficiency. However, ensure accuracy in word choice and context. Tip number 4, use a template. Familiarize yourself with a basic essay template that includes an introduction, body paragraphs, and a conclusion. A template can help streamline your writing process, especially under the time pressure, and ensure that you don't miss essential parts of an essay. Tip number 5, support your arguments with examples. Strengthen your arguments by providing clear and relevant examples. These can be drawn from personal experiences, historical events, or hypothetical scenarios for task 2. In contrast, provide some examples from the lecture in task 1. Detailed examples demonstrate your ability to apply logic and reasoning to support your viewpoints. Tip number 6, apply different transition words. Use different transition words and phrases to connect ideas smoothly and logically. Transitions like however, furthermore, and in contrast can enhance the readability of your essay and guide the reader through your arguments effectively. You could download the most popular transition words in English that can help you in your TOEFL speaking and writing. Lastly, the most important tip, leave time at the end for reviewing. Spend the last few minutes to review your essay. Check for grammatical errors, spelling mistakes, and punctuation. Ensure that your essay answers the prompt fully and that your arguments are clear and well structured. This review time can significantly improve the quality of your submission. By integrating these 7 tips into your TOEFL writing practice, you will not only improve your essay writing skills, but also increase your chances of achieving a high score. Thank you for joining this lesson on the top TOEFL writing tips. With diligent practice and strategic application of these tips, you are well on your way to writing impressive essays that will catch the evaluator's eyes. Keep practicing and good luck on your TOEFL journey. Hello there, MTF Institute students. In this detailed, important video, I will explain you how to get the professional certificate from the MTF Institute itself. So focus with me, all right? So at the beginning, you need to finish the whole course. You need to finish the whole course. As you can see here, I will finish the other videos that I still have to finish. That's the last one. So now I finished all the videos. So I need to move to the last one, then go over there and skip it at the end of this. So when I finish this video, the last video of the course, goodbye guys. As you can see, I can review the course right now. You can review before, but it will appear after you finish some videos. So you can review, give us a good feedback. So you could say, I loved the course. It's really important for us to keep moving and develop ourselves. So if you want to give us yes or anything, or skip, save and exit. So then after you finish and review the course, you could download the certificate, Udemy certificate, show more, and press here. You will get a Gmail, then go to that Gmail and you will unlock the Udemy certificate. After you get the Udemy certificate, send us an email to welcome@gtf.pt and you will get an automatic response. So you should send us your Udemy certificate and your name and the name of the course you've taken. After that, we will provide you with an email with the certificate that you will get after 2 or 3 weeks. It depends on the pressure of the work. Thank you so much. If you need anything, if you have any question, just ask us and we will answer it for you.